India's Foreign Minister Mr. Jaishankar has once again been given a new responsibility. Why is the Indian embassy in Portugal making news? After this, what kind of trouble is Bangladesh starting to cause? Just 12 to 15 kilometers from the Indian border. After that, how is the Turkish company Selby Aviation's losses keep continuing to increase? And what major shift has been observed in India's export pattern? There are several important updates coming out that you won't see on India's mainstream news channels. That's why you should watch this video till the end. The very first update is regarding India's External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jaishankar. Today is May 19th, and today, India's External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jaishankar, has embarked on a 6-day visit to European countries. During this tour, he will cover 3 countries, the Netherlands, Denmark, and Germany. Along with holding meetings with their governments, Mr. Jaishankar will also participate in press conferences and events in the European countries. It will be quite interesting to see what bold statements Mr. Jaishankar makes regarding Operation Sindoor, terrorism, and the support of European countries. And we will be covering that as well. The second news is coming from the European country Portugal. Yesterday, what happened was that a large number of protesters of Pakistani origin suddenly gathered in front of the Indian embassy in Portugal to protest. All of them were shouting slogans against India and raising slogans against Prime Minister Modi. They were holding the Pakistani army's victory symbol in their hands and claiming that in Operation Sindoor, India targeted innocent people, not terrorists. But the noteworthy thing is that immediately after this, the Indian embassy in Portugal put up a large poster on the embassy building, which read, "Operation Sindoor is not over yet," meaning that Operation Sindoor is still not officially over, and there could be more action between India and Pakistan. Pakistan is still a target of the Indian army. Seeing this, the Pakistani protesters became even more agitated, after which security had to intervene. The Indian embassy surely did not print this poster all of a sudden. It is believed that we may see such posters in front of Indian embassy buildings in many other countries as well. The next update is regarding India and Bangladesh. First, take a look at this map of Bangladesh and India's northeast region. The red location marker you see on the map is inside the border of Bangladesh, but it is about 12 to 15 kilometers away from the India-Bangladesh international border, and the Chicken's Neck is located right next to it. This location is 135 kilometers away from the Siliguri corridor. That's why, from a strategic perspective, this entire region becomes very important for India's security. For this reason, India keeps a close watch on any major developments that take place in this entire area. Speaking of the pinpoint location, this place is called Lalmonirhat in Bangladesh, which falls under the Rangpur division of Bangladesh. And this time again, a major development has taken place here, which is why this topic is being widely discussed. Now, the Lalmonirhat area had an airfield here during World War II, when India was not yet independent. There is still the old airbase and an airfield here. The British Army used to store weapons, ammunition, and explosives here. At that time, flights used to operate from here, and this was a forward base for the British during the World War. But today, the airfield here is not in working condition at all. However, it's not as if the Bangladeshi army and government have completely abandoned this area. Even today, this area is under the control of the Bangladeshi army, and the Bangladeshi Air Force is officially deployed here. Now, the major development is that the Bangladeshi army and government officials have brought Chinese officials here to this World War II era airbase. Reports are emerging that Bangladesh wants to reactivate this historic airbase. They want to make this airfield operational again. Now, even with this, India has no problem. What could the Bangladeshi Air Force or the Bangladeshi army possibly do to India? But the real issue here is about China and Bangladesh allowing China entry here. Reports are coming out that Bangladesh is taking help from China to revive this military base and airfield. A contract might be given to a Chinese company. After awarding the contract to the Chinese company, who knows how long that Chinese company will remain present here, and whether Bangladesh even has the money to pay China back. Because we've already seen before that the Bangladeshi government isn't even able to pay India's electricity bill. And if tomorrow the Bangladeshi government is also unable to pay China back in the same way, then there is a possibility that China could move in here as well. China took over Sri Lanka's Hambantota port in a similar manner, leasing it for 99 years. In the future, it's possible that China could enter under the pretext of recovering money from the Syedpur flight, or the Bangladeshi government itself might build an airfield here and lease it out to a Chinese company. And if that happens, it will pose a major threat to India's security. China could keep an eye on the Siliguri corridor from here. It would have complete surveillance over the Chicken's Neck. They could observe the movement and deployment patterns of the Indian Army and Air Force and gather intelligence. That's why India is not at all happy with Bangladesh bringing Chinese officials here. And Indian defense experts are continuously warning that the interim government of Bangladesh and Professor Muhammad Yunus need to be restrained. Otherwise, it will be too late. This is precisely the reason why the Modi government is imposing restrictions on visas for Bangladesh. Trade restrictions are also being announced with Bangladesh so that, in any way, Professor Muhammad Yunus and Bangladesh fall in line. But these people are just not responding to India's language of love. What do you think the Indian government should do regarding Bangladesh? Share your opinion in the comments below. The next update is about Turkey's largest ground-handling aviation company, Celebi Aviation. News is coming out that due to the Indian government's security clearance issues and the termination of contracts at Indian airports, Celebi Aviation's market cap has dropped by $200 million. A drop of $200 million in market cap means the company has suffered a loss of 1,700 crore rupees in Indian currency. All of this loss has occurred within just 3 days. 2 days ago, I told you that the Turkish company, Celebi Aviation, had filed a case in the High Court against the Indian government's decision, in which the government had revoked Celebi Aviation's security clearance. News is coming out that the proceedings for this case are set to begin today in the Delhi High Court. The plea was filed on Friday, and today, Monday, the hearing on this matter is set to begin in the Delhi High Court. 2 petitions have been filed against the Indian government's decision. One is from Celebi Airport Services India Private Limited, and the other is from Celebi Delhi Cargo Terminal Management India Private Limited. Both these targets company is under Celebi Aviation Kamrela in India, is registered in. Now, at the time of recording this video, the hearing on this case has not yet started in court. What proceedings will take place in court today regarding this case? What will the Delhi High Court judge say about this? And will Celebi Aviation be given security clearance again or not? We will also cover this case properly and keep you informed. The company has already suffered a loss of 1,700 crore rupees. Today, on Monday, the market is set to open again. It will be interesting to see how much Celebi Aviation's market cap drops today, because this loss of 1,700 crore rupees is likely to increase even further. If you want all this information, make sure to subscribe to Indian Affairs. The next update is about India's exports. That is, the goods we sell to foreign countries. If we look at the export data by value for the past 10 to 12 years, the top 3 items that India exports in any particular year are: first, petroleum products; second, gems and jewelry, that is, ornaments and such; and third, pharmaceutical products, drugs, and medicines. That is, the highest earnings come from petroleum products, then gems and jewelry, and then pharmaceutical products. This has been the order for the past 10 to 12 years. Only during the period when COVID-19 hit, pharmaceutical products became the most exported item from India. But from the next year onwards, the same order was repeated again, with petroleum products at the top and gems and jewelry in second place. Actually, India imports crude oil, but after refining it, the derivatives and fuels that are produced are sold to foreign countries. And after the Russia-Ukraine war, India's petroleum product exports have been continuously increasing. But now, this time, these rankings have changed once again, and this time it seems to be permanent. And it appears that petroleum products have now been permanently removed from India's export list. In fact, the government of India has released information for the 2024-25 financial year, stating that over the past year, petroleum products are no longer India's largest export item. Instead, smartphones have replaced them. The news coming out is that smartphones have become India's top exported item. In the past year, India has exported smartphones worth $24 billion to other countries. And in Indian rupees, this figure amounts to more than 2 lakh crore. If we talk about the previous year, India exported smartphones worth $15 billion that year. And the year before that, India exported only $10 billion worth of smartphones. Now, after Apple and Samsung have started new production lines in India, it is believed that this year India will export smartphones worth $30 billion. And next year, $40 billion, because by next year, multiple smartphone production lines are set to start in India. That is why it is being said that smartphones will remain at the top among India's top export items for many years to come. Petroleum products have moved up to second place, and gems and jewelry have taken the third spot. Along with this, an interesting fact that has emerged is that of the $24 billion worth of smartphones exported by India in 2024-25, 94% came from just 2 companies, Apple and Samsung, while the remaining 6% came from all the other companies combined. And the top 5 countries where India's smartphones have been exported are the United States, the Netherlands, Italy, Japan, and the Czech Republic. The last update is regarding India and Iran. News is coming out that yesterday, India's National Security Advisor, Ajit Doval, had a phone conversation with Iran's NSA, Dr. Ali Akbar Ahmadiyya. After the Pahalgam attack, Enkantur, Aumkandu, Dandumadi, Tandun and Operation Sindoor, Iran has also been in constant contact with India. Every 24 hours, that there are major changes and upheavals happening in geopolitics and new challenges are emerging for India. Some countries are reversing their decisions, while others have resorted to blackmail. All countries are trying to bring each other down. Amidst all this, the Modi government is making continuous efforts to ensure that our India does not lag behind any country. And India's foreign policy, defense news, economy and global affairs is the mission of our channel, Indian Affairs. And this mission is incomplete without your support. On Indian Affairs, Hindi, we analyze all facts and data in very simple language, without any agenda. If you want to support Indian Affairs, if you have already subscribed to our channel, heartfelt thanks to you. Jai Hind. Vande Mataram.